Today, I have some important news in regards to the community wiki for Path of Exile. As it says in a recent post from Tenkiei Games, around a year ago, a group of Path of Exile community members started to make a player-run wiki. This is because the fandom wiki, the one that we had known and loved for years, was, well, woefully out of date. Now, GGG is hosting this officially on their servers, so it's not going to cost them any money for the server hosting of their wiki. They wanted to take a moment to let players know what it means and what to expect in the future, and I think this level of transparency is amazing. It's great to see developers talking with the players that are making wikis, making resources, and doing things to make their job easier. So, let's get into that a little bit. Because the community wiki was created to provide reliable, up-to-date information rather than make a profit, the hosting costs were a burden on the creators, and GGG is very happy with the quality. I personally was kind of unhappy with the quality initially, but they have improved it a lot, and now I use it far more than any other resource outside of poedb when I'm looking up information. Poedb is not a wiki, it is a data mining site, and so it has certain things that wikis will not, but it's also missing things like explanations of how things work that wikis do tend to have. And then they're approached about the idea, hosting it on GGG servers, they like the idea, so now the community wiki doesn't have to worry about raising money, and instead, it can focus on making the wiki the best experience possible. There are two ways that you, as a player, can help. First, keeping it up to date with information uncovered during gameplay. Second of all, link to the new wiki when sharing information, as opposed to the old one. This is very true. A lot of times, when you search, the old wiki is the first thing or only thing that comes up. SEO is complicated, SEO tends to be expensive, and it's really just a matter of, over time, more people will use it, and the more people who use it, the more it's going to come up in search rankings, which they get into in a little bit. It is a concern. The old wiki has a ton of out-of-date information. It also has some very important things that shouldn't be forgotten, just in terms of memory, community interaction, and all that. However, the new wiki has done a great job of importing all the good things from the old one, while fixing the problems with inaccuracies in information and keeping it much more up-to-date. GGG also talks about how they haven't committed any resources yet towards making the information more accurate or exporting the data directly from the game. It is something they're investigating in the future. For now, they're just covering the costs so the wiki can exist without worrying about money. And they want to offer a huge thanks to people who have been setting this up. So, where I stand on this is, I would really like to see some sort of official API integration with the wiki. I want to see something where, when a new league or a new expansion comes out, the data that is meant to be accessible to players goes automatically into the wiki so it's easy to search and easy to find. This also means that there's going to be less inaccuracies. If a unique item or a skill gem, for example, pulls from the official API, then that gem is going to be up to date whenever GGG updates it, rather than waiting for players to discover the update and put it in. Especially going into 3.19, where a lot of unique items are going to change, and very likely a lot of skill gems are going to change, there are going to be inaccuracies in the wiki that take some time to iron out. This is a great first step. I really like the idea of hosting the community wiki officially so that players don't have to spend their resources and so that just money isn't a concern. Because realistically, no one is making a community wiki for Path of Exile to get rich. The point is to help the community. And you can't do that if you have to constantly worry about money. And personally, as a content creator, I very much know the struggle of having to worry about money when that's not really your goal or focus. It's why I talk about things like my Patreon. It's why I worry about making sure that my thumbnails are as clickable as possible. Because if I don't do these things, I won't make enough money to actually do the things that I really want to. I won't be able to talk about projects like the community wiki, and I won't be able to do things like make my Path of Learning and Build Academy series. So what I'm going to do personally is I'm going to link to the community wiki more. I also think that what you can do is intentionally go to the community wiki. If you search, don't just click the top result. Make sure you're going to the community wiki over the old one, because that will over time change search results. And beyond that, I really do hope that there's some sort of official API integration where data is pulled directly from the game in the near future. It would make things way more accurate. Maybe even some official time. I know that developer time for GGG is at a premium, but it would be great to have just a monthly Q&A where some of the people who are the chief contributors of a wiki speak with a developer, go over some inaccuracies, and get them fixed with knowledge that the player base might have speculated on or lost access to as the game changed over time. But overall, it's a great change. And now I want to know your thoughts. Do you think that this is a huge improvement and a step forward for the community wiki? Do you think maybe it doesn't go far enough and they need an official API integration? Or are you just happy that a great resource is getting recognition? Let me know some of your thoughts down in the comments below. A special thanks to my patrons and YouTube channel members. Your support helps keep me independent and allows me to turn down things like sketchy mobile game sponsorships. You can do so for as low as $1 a month over on Patreon, or if you want to support me completely for free, then you can join the community by hopping into my Discord, link below. If you want more content, check out my second channel, 10 Gaming Thoughts. It's a place that I use to review games, ramble my way through video essays, and a lot more. Or of course, you can just click the suggested video in the card right now. I hope you learned something today, and maybe I'll see you again sometime soon.